Hey everybody. I get a lot of questions on a daily basis, and there's one that keeps popping up that some people just may not understand why it costs so much to buy a home in Bend or in Central Oregon. So I'd like to take a few minutes and explain that to you. Residential and commercial construction is everywhere, and you see it. It looks like they're just building like gangbusters. But in reality, from 2005 to 2000 now, we are at about half of the permits being issued that were issued in 2005. So today, if there's 500 permits issued, there would have been close to 1,000 permits issued in 2005. Now we have a supply and demand issue. So what is one of the biggest supply and demand problems in Central Oregon, or challenges, I would say, is land supply. So in Oregon, we have some of the strictest land use laws in the United States, meaning that you can't just build whatever you want, wherever you want, or develop a subdivision wherever you want. So according to state laws and our local governing bodies, there's plans set out, usually 10-year plans or 20-year plans on how to manage growth and land availability for Oregon. So with that, the biggest tool is called the urban growth boundary, or you might heard of it called the UGB. So when the UGB gets expanded, then that gives us more land to build on. However, services, meaning sewer, water, power, gas, may not be to those areas yet. So when you hear UGB, that's the urban growth boundary, and essentially you can't build outside of that in a subdivision type format. Okay, one of my favorites to talk about, regulatory fees. So for a single family home in Bend right now, the SDCs, which are system development charges, this is parks, water, sewer, and the like, not including your actual building permit, meaning your structural permit, your mechanical permit, your plumbing permit, and your heating and vent permit, total about 30 grand per unit, or per house. So let's say you were building a single family house, that would be 30 grand for that house. If you were building a fourplex, you would multiply that by 4. Or you're building 20 units, you would multiply that by 20. So you can see that the municipal costs and permitting, etc., are rising, and that's only causing more supply and demand and increasing the cost for you, ultimately the consumer. And there's no doubt that people are moving to Central Oregon to enjoy such a beautiful area and the lifestyle, etc., that we all enjoy here. However, a lot of people blame rising costs on the builder. Well, let's take a look at that really quick. So if the builder pays on average $150,000 for a buildable lot that's finished, complete, buildable lot ready to build on, and they automatically add another 30 grand in permit and SDC fees, so now we're at 180. Okay, now you have, and we're still talking about maybe an 1,800 square foot house. You're going to add another $100 a foot for the house, so another 180,000. So now you're at 360,000, and there's no profit, right? So now he has to market and sell that. That's going to be another 6 to 10%. So now all of a sudden we're at 400,000, and no one's made really any money yet. So it's not the builder's fault. It's not the city's fault. It's not anyone's fault in particular. This is just a situation we're in when supply is low and demand is high. So what's the takeaway here? Okay, interest rates are low right now. Actually, as of today, the bond that we follow, a 10-year Treasury bond, is at one of the lowest points it's been in a long time. So we're seeing 30-year fixed mortgage rates hovering below 3.5%, and that's really low. So that increases what people can borrow because their payments are lower. So the takeaway here is rates are low, inventory is low. However, it is a good time to buy, and there are deals out there. So find yourself a good broker, like me, and get yourself into the market quickly, because the forecasts talk about only further growth in Central Oregon. So that means homes will continue to rise in costs, and they will continue to rise as far as affordability for our area. So anyway, get out there, get in the market now, get yourself a hedge against inflation, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.